guys, this is Rachel Kirkland, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being here with me for some question and answer time on YouTube. If you are new to this channel, I will say subscribe. So here's the question for today. I pulled it up on the computer. It says, Rachel, here's a question for your videos. Can you talk about suicide? Your perspective and spirit's perspective, although they might be the same. Do they find peace? Are they greeted by loved ones? Do they regret? I have shared many times that I personally believe that all deaths in some way, shape, or form are in an energy of suicide. I don't have a negative connotation around it, although I realize the collective energy on earth around the subject of suicide has a heavier, darker understanding of it. I don't have that same perspective, and I do feel like whether on this side of the linear timeline or on the other side of the veil, I do feel like there is a sense of choice from every soul of whether they leave this planet or they stay. This is why we have so many people that have shared near-death experiences and choosing to stay, even from the other side when they may have been shot, point blank 8 times or something with a gunshot or something crazy. We have so many stories of people choosing to return to their physical form and body. And whether they're conscious of those returns or not, there is a sense, in my perspective, having also worked a lot with death and dying and helping people transition or being aware of their loved ones on the other side of the veil waiting for them. Being able to have the perspective in this linear view of this physical 3D world and our physical 3D forms here, as well as the multidimensional perspective of non-physical energy as it transitions into its multidimensional body completely. I do feel like we always get a sense of choice and free will that is sovereign in that decision. Okay? So that being said, that's why I feel like almost every death has an energy of it that is in alignment with a suicide. There is a sense of decision or sovereignty in the self that is making that decision from its highest perspective, from a perspective that is broader than just the awareness that we may have mentally in this body. We see things from a different perspective oftentimes when we're on the other side. I realize saying that it's not a conventional way of thinking, or maybe it's controversial to say that I feel like almost all deaths are suicides. But please be aware, it's more the energy of sovereignty, of making a choice, of having a sense of deliberate creation and movement of your life on this planet that I'm talking about. And I do feel like, in my experience, that's not taken away. That's actually sustained and heralded and supported by the universe and by God and those on the other side, supporting your choice. It may look from this side like choice hasn't always been made, but I do feel like from the broader perspective, again, even if we can't see it on this side, that on the other side, there is choice being made. There is alignment or not alignment with whether to go or stay in this physical form. So I'm going to hit some of your specific questions. Do they find peace? Yes, I think if that's something that they're seeking, peace is always available. But similar to the energies that we have available to us now and that are ever present, we always have access to peace anytime we choose to align with it. So it's no different on the other side. Energy is energy. So there's a sense of grace or peace or love available to us all the time here. Now, does that mean that everyone chooses to align with it? No. But it is available. And if that's something that they're seeking, then it is made available. It is always available. But I will say, kind of like this view of heaven and hell, and I think I have a video on this also, is that there's a perspective with spirit that it is a vibrational availability. Because you are respected and heralded and loved as a sovereign being of your own free will, you are not, it is your choice, basically, of what you would like to align with and would like to experience. So if you are in an energy that would like to align and experience peace, then do they find peace? Typically, yes. But just as people here on earth can choose to stay and live in this environment of hell, like creating hell on earth for themselves, living miserably and horribly, that is a sense of choice, whether you are in this dimensional space or in another one, whether you are in this 3D body or in another form or energy body. The choice of what you experience with your consciousness or your soul is yours. It is available to you to experience peace now, in each infinitesimal now moment, just as much as it is on the other side. Are they greeted by loved ones? I would say for the most part, yes. And again, if this is the desire, then typically they are. Sometimes people are desire to be met by ascended masters or religious figures or angelic energy, or their guides. Sometimes people just, just comes from my experience with working with the death and the dying and my own personal experience of leaving the body and being between lives and things like this. There is a time sometimes that's just a physical release of the body, and I have had memories of times between lives where I just jumped out of the body like a spring in a pin top, just like boing, like a ping pong, little, or pinball, like ball that just like pulled back and just jumped out, and I was just running around. I had no one there to quote unquote greet me because I just wanted out of the body and I wanted to play. So sometimes it's like that. Other times there's a sense of reunion. When I have worked with clients, sometimes I have seen loved ones literally reach their hand over from the other side, and it almost looks like a translucent hand helping them in their physical hand to feel peace, to feel someone with them, to help them if they have a lot of fear about the death process from this perspective. So, and I've seen some that give this quintessential imagery of, someone running on one side of the beach, running to the other person, a huge sense of reunion, almost like Chariots of Fire, where it's like dun 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 dun. There's this really slow-mo, like, yes, I'm coming home, I've seen a lot of different experiences, all that are vibrationally relevant for the person that's in that life, that's in that body. So yes, are they greeted by loved one? I would say yes, if that's their desire, for sure. There's nothing held from them, if that's something they choose to connect with. Do they regret? Again, that's an individualized answer. In all my work as a medium and helping people cross over and gain a sense of understanding, there are various levels vibrationally that we can connect with our loved ones on the other side. Just like within you, there are various levels of your vibrational self. Not unlike a Russian doll, I've used that imagery before. There is your 3D body, there is your higher self, there's your angelic form, and so on and so forth until you get to source all the way back. So depending on where we are vibrationally syncing up with that soul, if I was to connect with a loved one, say for instance, that had committed suicide on this 3D planet, and our perspective from a linear point of view, and was to ask them if they regretted anything, or if they had regret. If I tuned into that radio dial to that soul's frequency from the perspective of a human, from the perspective of just having been here on the planet and gained wisdom from a human perspective, say I turned the dial to 98.1 or something, and this is their human frequency, very similar to our own, or if they were here, they might have a sense of emotional energy still present in them, and they may speak from that vibrational place, saying, oh, I regret that I did it so soon, or oh, I wish I would have communicated with Sally, or or I miss you, or there may be energies like that. Or they may say the opposite. They may say, I don't have a sense of regret, I just wish you didn't feel so sad, or I wish I could hold you still, or I wish these kind of things. Now, if I tuned into that same soul of the person that had committed suicide at a higher vibrational state, and I tuned into their angelic body, their angelic energy, and asked them that same question, do you have a sense of regret? The answers unquestionably come back in a vibration that are so at peace, so balanced, in such an equilibrium of love. The answers from their higher perspective of their own angelic energy comes back very, like they may say, all is well. I love you. Typically very simple, profound, and heartfelt, direct to the core messages come from that vibrational level. So depending on what frequency I tune into them, and we have the same ability to tune into ourselves at that frequency, whether we tune into our own higher self, or our own angelic self, or our own celestial galactic source self, as high up as we can go until there are no words. There is nothing communicated, it's just a state of being. But it depends on what level we want those questions answered at. I will say, overall, surrounding this question, and just with my work with those on the other side, no matter how traumatic the exit, and we all have had traumatic exits. This planet has been through traumatic experiences with different cultures and humankind and different races and different timelines on this earth. We've all had traumatic death experiences, and there are patterns that carry them, that we may feel or may get triggered on this planet when we live this life. But I will say that our souls, our spirit, in terms of the love and the light that is always calling us back to source, is just one of all understanding, all knowing, peaceful love and acceptance. It's just true love. It's just pure and true love. Always with open arms, like waiting for that hug, So much love. Be at peace. Love you guys.